Hello. Today's June 21st, the longest day of the year, and I am finally back. I'll talk more about sort of just what's been going on in my life later, but first I want to talk about biases and hypocrisies. As a B-52 bomber flies overhead. I'm not entirely sure what I'll call this video, but I'm focusing on biases and hypocrisies, and it kind of rhymes, so that's probably what I'll call it. And where do I want to start? I'll just start with yesterday. Since I've last made a video, I've got an internship with a local campaign. Someone's running for governor. I'm not gonna say who, just because I feel like that's professional, but it's something that I'm really happy that I get to do, and it's good for my experience and all that. And so yesterday, I was canvassing, going door to door, trying to get support, because the state in which I live, the primary is pretty late, if that wasn't making any sense to you. But regardless of that, canvassing in my neighborhood that I'm currently in, and I see someone that I do know, and I knew that they wouldn't be too particularly fond of me working for this campaign. It is a Democrat, I'll say that, and there's a massive hummingbird. It's one of the biggest hummingbirds I've ever seen. Anyways, and I knew that they wouldn't be fond of it, and I also know this person, so there's a bit of history there. And we get to talking, and they say that they don't want me to become corrupted, and not in the typical political context, not just a general worry of going into politics and getting corrupted by money and all that and power, but more so corrupted by ideology, which is, that's a fine intellectual take, but within this context, they are a right-leaning Christian. And, I really do think that they are entitled to their opinion. I don't even want to necessarily say that they're wrong. I just want, I don't know, when someone tells me that they don't want that for me, and yet they've never really asked the question, what do I want, or why is it that I've ended up in these positions? It's a bias, and it's almost hypocritical in a way, in which I guess I can tell another story in just a second, but it's biased to think that their way is correct, especially in a not too universal context, if that makes any sense. Like, if you think that you're right and Christianity's right, that's fine, but within the context of an individual on individual, when it's like that, it's more so that's how we should be talking. It shouldn't be like we abstract it out to the moral objectivity of the universe, anything like that. But I guess that's what they have to do. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Not to mention the hypocrisies, which, I don't feel like too comfortable talking about at this current stage, honestly, because number one, of course, I have stuff to work on. I'm not perfect, but number two, I don't know, who am I to judge, but I don't know, not watching a movie because someone has different viewpoints than you, it's not as if they're like a murderer or anything like that, or anything along those lines. Like, boycotting out of sheer ideological loyalty or fealty even, I think is a bit silly. Because, I'm labeling this as ideological rather than moral, not just because I think that there are debates to be had about morality, but because it is more so an ideological decision rather than a moral one, even though they think it is a moral one. You're not doing something because Trump said not to do it, or you're not doing it because you have an extremely narrow viewpoint of your religion. I don't know. It's really ironic I'm talking about it here, and this video is going to be super ambiguous, and that's fine. But we're just restarting these journals. I guess I'll just talk about how life has been going recently. I don't know. I hope the biases and hypocrisies made just a little bit of sense, but since I last made a video, which it's almost coming up on a month, I got that internship I mentioned, and I'm still working my other 2 jobs. So life has been moving very fast, and I think I'm doing better than how I mentioned I was down like 3 weeks ago or so. I am doing better, but we're still not all the way back. Weather like this definitely helps though. It's not too hot right now. I don't know. I'm feeling more fulfilled, and I'm just trying to be more receptive to love. Kind of falling back on some hippie axioms, but yeah, it's been fascinating. I have been lucky to go to the beach a few times since the summer started, and enjoy some days off here and there, like today, which is a Friday, so that's very nice. Tomorrow I'm going to New York City. I finalized the details for my Boston trip, where we're staying, when we're going, all that. So I've got some things to look forward to, which is really nice. I've been reading Stranger in a Strange Land as well, which I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I do want to actually kind of write some stuff down, or else I would have talked about it today. But yeah, I don't know, I'm super glad I got exposed to philosophy on a deeper level than just those stupid stoic posts you see on Instagram, but on a really deep level in an academic setting, and also just my own endeavors. But I was talking to one of my coworkers last night, and there's only so much you can take. There's only so much you can focus on, and I think that's part of the reason why I got down, is because when you are philosophizing, it's really cringy to say, but when you are doing that, it takes away from the moment, in my view. There's a time and place for it. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this little message here now. I don't know, if you know me and you're watching this video, I don't know, I don't really know exactly what I want to say, but anything that I ever say, and you know me, or if you just want to comment, I want to talk about the things that I speak of, right? Especially if you know me, because I like having in-person conversations more than the phone, but that's a lot of the reason why I do this, not just to track sort of what's going on in my life, but to get a conversation going and really trying to remove the biases and the hypocrisies from conversations. We're all humans at the end of the day, and that's something I've tried to do with my channel time and time again, is remind people of that. So yeah, I think that's where I'll leave it. I hope y'all's summer has been off to a good start, and yeah, peace and love.